Hi there, welcome to Darlene's Creative Studio. I am working on a little project for June. I am going to be revamping some postcards. I have a couple of postcards here that I'm not particularly fond of the fronts of them, and the backs are blank. So I want to revamp the fronts of them with some digitals that I am going to be using. They are Stacy Beltz. She has an Etsy store called StacyStories, and this is her vintage travel digital kit. And I'm going to be just covering the fronts of these. I received these postcards in an auction, and there was about 90 of them. And they were all blank except for four. Four of them had been used, and they have postage stamps on them, so I will be keeping those. But the rest of them were just blank, and these obviously were from trips that they had taken long ago. So what I'm going to do, excuse me, I got a frog again, is just cover the fronts up, and then you can use the back for journaling cards. So I've done it before, and I did a video on these, and I just used some napkins. So I had this purple napkin, and I just decoupaged the fronts and then added a large butterfly. And these are not finished. I'm going to add a word or something else on those. And then on this one, I used another napkin and just added a little piece here and then a butterfly. So there was a little strip there and the butterfly, a strip there and a butterfly. And then this one, I just added another butterfly because I kind of like the look of that one. But again, they're not quite finished. I want to add a little word or something, or a little quote. Excuse me. So what I'm going to be working with are these postcards. And again, they're all blank on the back. And then this is Stacy's, just going to move this out of the way for a moment. This is Stacy's digital kit. And it comes with quite a few pages of just ephemera. That one didn't print out very well. And then she does have some old postcards as well in here. So I obviously won't be using the postcards. This one's really cute. Might trim this picture down and use this. This one's cute too. I love that one. And then we've got some like little tea cards and calling cards, little images there. There's another one of her postcard images. This is a little, looks like a little travel book document. And then she's got some old cars. And again, this one looks like a postcard that was. And then those are all her, what I would call ephemera parts. And then these are her full pages. So I think what I will do is start with one or two of these, the map pages, and actually cover them with some of the map pages. And then collage them with some of the other bits and pieces, like maybe something like that, or the map pages, recover the fronts with those, and then add a few of the little bits and pieces that are in there. So that's what I'm going to start with first. So I'm going to go ahead and get together my supplies, and we'll get started. So I've gathered some of the supplies together that I'm going to need for these, you know, a ruler, a pencil, some scissors. I've grabbed both my Fabri-Tac and my art glitter glue. And these little postcards are 5.5 inches by 3.5 inches. So I'm just going to decide, you know, what parts of the maps I want to go ahead and cut out. I'm going to try and get 3 sections, and I might be able to get that out of there. So I'm just going to go to my cutter, and I'm just going to cut away all the white, and then I'm going to cut these in 3.5 inch strips, and then I'll decide what's going to go on the fronts of those. And I'm going to do that for probably all 3 of the maps, cut all the white parts off, and then go from there. So I've gone ahead and cut the white away from the edges, and then just cut these into approximately 3.5 inch strips. And then that will give me an idea of what to put on the cover of this. So like for this one, let's say, and I tried to make them a tiny bit bigger so I could trim them back. So I could either do it like that, which I really like, and take off that part. So we're going to try that, and I'm just going to use my Fabri-Tac real quick. I'm just going to try both of them and see which one works the best. And I like to poke the hole in this just to open it up again, because sometimes I find that it gets a little clogged. Let's try that. There we go. And the only reason I like to use the Fabri-Tac is because you can move it around and position it where you need to. And that certainly works better for me. I'm just going to grab my little brayer here so that when I put this on, and you want to make sure it's the right side up, obviously follow the picture. And we're going to go ahead and put this on here. And I'm just going to flip it over to make sure that I'm on it somewhat, and then we're just going to roll it out like that, and then we'll take our scissors and trim it up. See, I just left a little tiny smidge, so I went 3.5 plus 1/16 so that I could have a little bit of trimming room there. So there's the first one, and so I'm going to distress the edges of this first, just to give it a little more vintagey feel. And I like that this particular one has the date on it. So this is City of New York, 1912. It says up here on the corner. Okay, so that's the start of that one. And I'm just going to do one more. Let's see. Let's pick this one. So I've done the red one. Let's try this. This is the County of Kings. And this is October 1869. So if I did it there, that's kind of a neat one. Or do we want it to go... I think I want that little part to show, but maybe not as much. So I'm going to leave this strip the way it is. And I think I'm going to put the glue on the actual postcard so that I can position the paper where I want it. And you want to make sure you get right to your edges. Okay, so let's flip this guy over. So we don't need to go right to the edge of this one. So let's go maybe there, and I flip it over so that I can see it from the back. Make sure I'm in the right, and let's roll it out. I just need to slide it up a smidge there. And that's why I like the Fabri-Tac glue. You've got that couple of seconds to move things around. And then we're just going to trim it up. Take that piece off. That's a little better. And then we'll trim this end. And I'll save that little piece and there. And that was actually right at the 3.5. So that's great. I'm just going to put a lid on my glue here. And let's distress the edges of that one. So this is just a nice way. Now again, it doesn't have to be, I just wanted to do the travel theme because they're postcards. And these might be nice to insert in a travel journal. Or if you're going, you know, that theme, if you're doing a theme of like by the sea or anything like that, you can use these papers for the background and then collage on top of them. But these are nice because now you have a writing space and it looks like an authentic postcard. And people can journal on these as well. So there's two, and we'll do one more with one of the other maps. Let's just see what the black and white one looks like. Now we can either do the black and white map, or we can do the bottom portion where it has some of the text as well. And I think that might be nice because then we can put the, oops, sorry, I'm using the wrong one. Then we can put the collage, some of the collage over top of the text part. So let's try that one. And again, you want to make sure you get fairly close. You don't want to be right on the edge because the glue will ooze out, but you want to be close enough that when you use your brayer, it will flatten it out to the edge. And I always make sure I get my corners. There we go. Put the lid on that, lay that down. And we're going to do this one, and it's, make sure I have it right side up. And I think I'm going to go this side. All right. There we go. So it's so nice. As of June 2nd, we are out of lockdown, and all the cottagers that have cottages up here have come up to our area. So it is very, very, very busy right now. It's the weather has been getting warmer, but it looks like this week we're going to get some rain. So the first week of the cottagers' holidays, and they're going to get rain. And it's just nice to see people milling about again. Still being cautious, wearing our masks, but it's just nice to see people getting outside and being friendly again. Okay, so we've trimmed that one up. So there are the 3 outer map pieces, and I'm just going to do the 3 for now. And then again, I'm going to distress the edges, keep everything similar. Okay, so there we go. So there are 3 of the postcards that we've just put some of the map backgrounds on. So now let's decide what we're going to put on top of those. Now a lot of the bigger pictures you can't use, but you could actually trim some of the picture out if there's something particularly in the picture that you wanted, or the coloring. So like say the ship, you could trim a little bit of that out and have Australia showing and then have that on there. It might even be nice to recover some of these postcards if you wanted that antique car. You could put him right on. And what I do is I hold these up to my window. I put the paper in front, and then you can hold it up to the window and you can actually see which parts, because it's translucent, or if you have a light box, even better. But it just gives you an idea of what would show up onto the postcard. So for this one, and I'll just show you from the front, the car would fit on there perfectly. The bottom part wouldn't, but that would be a really cool. So I'm going to cut that one out, and I'll put that on one of the cards. So we'll just save him for a moment. If you wanted to have just part of the train on the postcard, you could do that as well. So that would be kind of cool with the map and the train there. So I might cut that one out. And then even this is a background. Somebody's passport or something like that. That would be kind of cool as well. So there's those 2. And now these are some of the smaller things that I was thinking of cutting out, like the lady. She would fit really nicely on an edge of one of the cards here. I thought these were kind of cute, the traveling cards there. And then there's 2 more ladies. And then this might also work. There's another document there. A traveling document that might look nice on the back. So you've got lots of ideas for putting on the background, and then even there's something like this. But again, it's very similar to what you have on the back. So I love this one. Excuse me. So that would fit perfectly on a card as well. We got some coins and some money. And then this little one I thought was really cute as well. And I'm losing my voice. This little airmail one, that's kind of neat. This is what I was looking for. These little, it says fare. So this is like a little ticket. British Railways. So that would be kind of cute if you cut those out with the train one. So I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to cut that one out for the train. Save that one for the train. I'm going to look at cutting out some of those little ladies. I don't think I need that one. even if you want sections, like this lady with her hair or her hat blowing might be kind of cool. So I might cut out that one as well. Here's a photo of somebody with a whole bunch of luggage. That might be neat. Cut that little photo out and put that on one of them as well. So I might do that one. So I'm just kind of going through them really quickly, and I'm going to go ahead and cut out some of these. And I think I'm going to cover one of these with the car and one of these with the train. These last two. So I'm just going to do some cutting and I'll be right back. So I've gone ahead and cut out a few of the digitals. And to be honest, in my opinion, when you print out something like this, whether it's on cardstock or paper, if you cut them out and have a little stack of them, it makes it so much easier, because as I started cutting them out, I was looking at them again thinking, oh, I should really cut that one out because I think that one's really cute. Or, oh, maybe I could use this portion of the lady, or maybe just cut this into different sections and use this. So it's better to look at them like this than it is on a full sheet, because you don't really get a very good idea when they're like this. So cut them all out and then kind of lay them out and decide on things. Because even this one, as I was going past it, I thought even if I was to cut something like that off and have that on a portion of one of them, it would be kind of cool as well. So I've gone ahead and just cut out a few of them. There's some money. I love this lady, so I'm thinking of using her for something. And then I've got the railway tickets. And this was, it's actually two photos. And if I just go like this, you'll be able to see a little better. Let me just see. It's the exact same photo, but it's a picture of somebody with a whole bunch of luggage and a whole bunch of people. So that might be cool too, to have kind of, trim it down a little bit and have that. So that was kind of neat. The man with the luggage while waiting at the train station. So that might be good for the train one. But again, you don't have to use them like this. You could cut around the man and have him just floating on the page. I mean, anyone who does collage knows this. So you could trim around some of the ladies and have them on there as well. Some gentlemen in their luggage, another woman. And then the same with this one. If you didn't want the shoes, but you could certainly use the bag for traveling. And then the little cameras, you could just cut off the little, you don't need this part of it, but you could maybe have the little camera as a little image. So that's something I'm going to use as well. So that's what I kind of did. I went and cut out a few more, and then these are 3 or 4 other larger ones. So if I wanted to do the car, which I might do, I've got that one. I've got the train, which I might do, and have the luggage and some stuff like that. So we'll do that. And then there was these 2 little passbooks. You could use those as background and then have a few other things like the camera floating on there. And maybe have the little bag on there as well. So there's all kinds of different ways of figuring out what you'd like to have on. I'm figuring as I'm going. I think the pink's a little too pink. So even if that was to be, say, that one. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and glue these on, and then I will start collaging. All right, so we've got the 3 other postcards covered. I used the train. And when I flipped it over, there was some words there describing the front picture of the postcard, and I just used the scrap that I cut off from the edge of the image and just put it across the top. And I don't know if anyone noticed, but the postcards, I didn't even have to distress the edges. The postcards already have that lovely patina around the edges of the postcards. That was already there. I didn't have to add anything. So the only thing I would do is maybe just distress around anything that I've added on, but that was already patinaed on the back. So for this one, I just kind of add a little bit around that paper, but and again, I just covered that because I had a little bit of words down the side. So there are our 6. We have 3 maps and 3 images. And then we're just going to go through some of our little tiny pieces here. And again, I like this bag, so I would cut this off. I don't need the little shoes. And I don't need the verbs. And again, if you don't want it square, you could cut around the image, but I thought that one would be kind of neat. So maybe on there. And then the camera as well. I don't need that, and I don't need it to say Will Cigarettes, so I'm just going to cut that off. And around some of the lines. And then we've got the little camera. That could go on there. I was thinking of having the gentleman with the bag, and I would like to trim around him because he's very white all around him. And just maybe cut around the outside of him and then put him with the train, so he's waiting at the train station. Just cut around there. Oops. I want to cut his toe off. All right. All right, so we cut him off. So I thought he would be kind of cool waiting at the train station. And then maybe one of these British Railways. Oops, we don't need both of them because they both say the same thing. So maybe just cut that off. And there's still a little bit of white there. So we could have kind of that maybe like that. So we've got that one. And then this lady is definitely going with the car. So let's just move these guys out of the way. Don't know how I'm going to get her on there, but she's going with, so I'm going to cut that off. And again, if you do something and you're not happy, just reprint the image and start again. But this one, I think I'm going to trim around her. I don't know if I'm going to leave the car seat in or not, but we will for now. Let's just see what she looks like. She could possibly, yeah, see, I'm going to cut around her like this. Because I think I would like her just kind of floating in front of the car. So maybe have her something like that. And then let's see if she can go on that side. No, I want her on this side. And again, we can cut off some of that seat so that she's not all bulky and big. Let's cut off the seat and just leave her driving. That's better. Yeah, I like that. So she'll be there. And we've got our man in his little thingy there. I really like this one. I'd like to use that. So let's just move that out of the way. I love these little beach girls. Let's see if we can cut them out. And again, we don't need all the white around, so I'll cut that off. We'll cut around there. So we've got the little beach. And then what I would do is maybe just cut around their heads so we'd have a little bit of shape to it instead of it just being a square. And I was taught you're supposed to move the paper, not your scissors. Keep your scissors steady and move the paper. And these girls were checking out the boys that were walking up the beach, even in those days. Except for the lady with the dog. She's quite happy to be petting the little pooch there. All right, so you've cut around the lady. So they could easily go on maybe that one where they're going traveling. And we could have the camera. Maybe the bag could go with Mr. Train Station or there. Again, I'm going to cut around the bag. I don't think I'm going to leave it there. But I like that. It gives a little bit of color. And this one looks like they're traveling, so I kind of like this portion of the ticket. So I was thinking maybe that could go on here to give it some color. So I like those. Make sure I'm not throwing anything away that I need. And then we also have this little because there's a child in this one and this says child on it. So I might keep that one for there. And you can even cut out like that. It doesn't even have to be perfectly on the page. It can be on an angle too. So these can all be glued a little differently. So we'll keep those. So it's just a matter of playing with what you think goes where. I really like this picture of all the guys with all the luggage. So I'm thinking I'll cut away the yellow. Maybe they can go on one of these two. And again, see how it's got all this white here? So you could easily, oh, I lose my voice way too much. I need to have my cup of tea. So you could just cut that off like that. So then it wouldn't have as much of the white there. And you can have it maybe over here so you can still see some of the words there. So that one's kind of nice. So we've used him. I wanted to use the vintage ladies in one of them, so maybe one of them can go here. See, she also might be nice on the stoop, so let's cut this one out. And again, just play. Just cut a whole bunch of things out, move them around, see which ones you like, and then start gluing them down. I never glue anything down until I've kind of played with them all. And then I would get out my stamps and maybe do some stamping on them. So something like this, the round stamps and that kind of thing, I would maybe add some more of that as well. So we have our lady standing here at her dress. Oops. Just going to move some of these out of the way here. I want to make sure I'm still on the camera here. I haven't done that one, so let's move him. We've got that one and that one. And we're working on this one. I like her. She's going to be there. We got that one. So even if we moved this lady or this guy out, let's see. Yeah, that looks a little nicer. I like the lady waiting with her luggage. So where can we use this little man? And I want to cut that camera out more. All right, so I'm going to play with this a little bit more, and then I'm going to start gluing them on, and we'll come back and see what we ended up with. Well, I managed to get them all complete. I did a little shuffling around and relayering and just, again, I'm not a big person on collage, but I managed to get it to where I was happy with it. So for the passport background, I cut out that really nice picture of the couple on the cruise line, and then I added the camera. And again, I'll probably add some words or something else to these, but that's the basic collage part. The map of Brooklyn, I added the lady with her luggage and the man with his luggage, and then part of that ticket that was part of a digital. For the car, I added the lady with her scarf blowing, and then this was a very large image of a man and a lady in a car, and the lady was standing on the seat like this, and it was a larger picture. And I was going to put the lady there, and then I decided the man actually looked a little better, and you could still see the car, so I did that one. My train, and just the simple little ticket with the lady, oops, sitting with her luggage. And then we have this one with the passenger. This was that passenger ticket. I used those two pieces, and then I just trimmed around this, and it looked a little better without all that white. And then this was part of another, I think this was part of this one, this digital, and just cut it out. So you can use parts of the digital, not the whole digital. And then this one I struggled with. I really wanted to use these ladies, and I liked it with this card. It had the right softer tones, and I really wanted to use them in, but I just didn't know how to place them. So I've added a little piece of a ticket. This was part of that was the digital image. So I cut that part off and then just put it on an angle to cover up some of the words, and then put them in up there. And then this was part of one of the postcards, and it was some boats on water. So I wanted to add that, so it was the beach theme of people at the beach and traveling on a boat sort of thing. So there we go. I finished the 6 with Stacy Beltz Vintage Travel Digital Kit. And on the backs of them, they have the writing space, and these can go in a travel journal, or they can just go as a thank you gift in some of my orders. And again, I may take some of these cards that I've made and just add some images like hope or a little quote or something like that. But a great way to reuse those old postcards that you have, you know, you can scan them and save them if they're older ones and they're not copyrighted. So scan them and save them, and then do something with the fronts of them rather than just stick them in the drawer. Make them into something. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. I didn't record myself cutting everything out because then it would be a 3-hour-long video. But that is the end result of cutting up some of the digitals from, there's the other half of the boat. No, that was another one. Digital kit from Stacy. And I've got tons left over, so I will keep this in with my ephemera stuff and continue to use that up. But there's 6 postcards that I've created. Thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you real soon. Bye for now.